Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another round of Super Rugby. Now, this game, it's a very intriguing one. The Chiefs currently on their winning streak. The Highlanders, this is a game that they come in as heavy underdogs, but certainly if they play well, they've got a bit of potential, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be closer than some may be anticipating. I feel like you guys will be able to give me a hard time when the Chiefs win this game by about 35 points. But looking through at the Highlanders starting lineup, it will be Ethan de Groot, Andrew Makaleo, and Jermaine Ainsley as the front row. Fabian Holland slots in at number 4 with Will Tucker at 5. Shannon Frizzell, Sean Withy, and Hugh Renton as a loose forward trio. Looking through at the back line, Aaron Smith at 9 with Mitch Hunt at number 10. That combination is going to be crucial, but they haven't got Freddie Burns in that starting lineup, which is an interesting choice from the Highlanders. Scott Gregory and Sam Gilbert also in the back line alongside Fatuli Paya, Jonah Lowe, the ex-Chiefs man, and Connor Garden-Bishop at number 15. Looking through at the Chiefs starting side, Aiden Ross, Simasoni Takiaho, and George Dyer, then Tupavai and Natoa Akoi in the locking duo. No Brody Retallick in the starting lineup for the Chiefs this week. Peter Gusso-Akula, I should say, at number 6. Sam Kane, 7, and Luke Jacobson there at number 8. Brad Weber and Damian McKenzie, they are going very well together, working perfectly, and I wouldn't even be surprised if one day in the future we do get to see that as the AB's 9-10 combo. It is going to be Pinaisi, I believe it is, Mali out on the left wing, Anton Leonard-Brown and Daniel Rona in the midfield, and Moni Narawa, and of course the inform Sean Stevenson. He had to be in there somewhere today. He will be playing number 15. Evening, Hamish, says Mr. JJ. Welcome in. And Chiefs Mana, says Ed Vogel. I'm having a shocking time saying words today. I have to say that. I'm very excited. Hang on. Freddie Burns is actually going to be starting at first 5, I should mention, rather than Mitch Hunt. They have just shown there. The Chiefs at full strength for resting players, so they haven't got Brody Retallick. Other than that, though, I think they're pretty close to full strength. They are definitely not underestimating the Highlanders for this contest. They need to make sure they keep that winning streak alive. We'll have to scoff my dinner down. Hopefully won't be too long, says Nov Mum. So you still got another 2 minutes or so before this match does kick off, but the two sides extremely hyped up for this game. We could see the little hype package that they put just before. It's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it big time. It's a great way to start round 11 of Super Rugby Pacific. Evening, Kiwi Lads. Just walked in from work, says Spider-Mix. So hopefully it did go well for you throughout today and the rest of the week at work. Now running out onto the field here, the Highlanders led by Billy Harmon, currently ranked 8th. A win here, though, would be absolutely massive for the Anton Leonard-Brown 100th game. Could it be any more dramatic? Playing against his brother, having 2 serious injuries in 2 previous games. Hope he's having a good one, says Ed. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Anton Leonard-Brown, if he can stay match fit, I think the All Blacks are going to have him in there as one of their centres. Definitely with what's happened in terms of Whainanukū probably committing to the wing. Also, you've got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck now missing from that midfield. Freddie Burns now going to have a big opportunity here to start this match. Premiership points he has at 1,527. Do the Highlanders get piped out to the field? They do. I can hear the bagpipes at the moment. They are blasting in Dunedin. This is a big game, and I feel like this is the game. I don't know. It's just I've got that little bit of an upset feeling, in terms of the Highlanders could get something done in this contest. Not sure why the Highlanders are on the top of the poll, says Mr. JJ, and the Chiefs have to win, says Adam in there as well. Like this, and go like this. Anton Leonard-Brown, though, he's on 99 matches. Only 15 tries he has been able to get for himself. Is this NRL or rugby union? Says Adam, we are watching rugby union at this stage. It is the Chiefs taking on the Highlanders. Super Rugby Pacific round 11. Going to be great. Full score prediction. I am going to, do I do it just for the sake of doing it? I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Highlanders win this game by 3, 24 points to 21. There we go. We'll put that one out there. Just put it in the area. See what comes back with that, I guess. 40 points to the Chiefs. Says it. That's probably more likely. And 32-19 to the Chiefs. Chiefs the win, says Roof. And Brother Hamish, how are you this evening? I think the Chiefs will run away with it. Would be good. The Highlanders get the upset. Much love, Kiwi Lad, says Justin. No way, Hamish. Good. Chiefs looking great. They are. They're a very good side. I've only really put it out there so that if it does happen, I seem like a smart man. But if it's wrong, then it's just stock standard. The Chiefs are on a winning streak anyway. They'll be happy enough. Definitely. And come on, D-Mac, says Gareth, but it is going to be kicked off now by the Highlanders, going just down to the 22. Super Rugby I takes it nicely for the Chiefs to start us off. Now, they are in their away kit, the white, for this match. That looked like a close to forward pass from Damian McKenzie, straight into the hands of Aidan Ross. And they have gone back for that forward pass. It will now be a scrum for the Highlanders just inside of the Chiefs 22. Evening, Hamish. Hope you're well, my bro. Do you think Stevenson is due on the ABs? I feel like he's got to be in that squad at least for the World Cup. If he's not, I would be extremely surprised because, like, what does he have to do? He's played phenomenal rugby. He's scoring tries. He's setting up tries. All I'm going to say is if he doesn't, France, Japan, somewhere like that, they'll be calling and they'll be paying him the big bucks. So it's whether or not the Kiwis want to give him that chance or whether they want to see him go overseas, possibly miss out on that chance. Islanders by a drop goal, says Spider-Mick. That would work well with the 24-21 prediction, wouldn't it? And go the Chiefs. What do you think about the Stormers and the Bulls match? Who's going to come out? I think the Stormers should take it, but it's going to be a great game. Nice ball. Freddie Burns now out wide. Here comes Connor Garden Bishop. Now, the Highlanders actually only 10 metres out here from the Chiefs line. A good opportunity early in this contest. Now, Shannon Frizzell, good carry forward. All available for Smith again. I have to say the Highlanders, they have been looking a lot more sharp when he has returned to the halfback helm. Now Freddie Burns goes off to Thomas Umaga Jensen, runs straight at Sam Cane, who's looking a little bit wobbly on his feet. Now nice short ball to Sam Gilbert. Consider reaching out, just doesn't quite get there. The ball's still available. Now Smith thinks about the snipe himself. He's dropped the ball in the process though. And the Chiefs managed to regain position only a metre out from their try line. Weber setting up for Peter Gus Sawakula to drive it up to the 5-metre line. We'll have to find a kicking option soon. It looks like Weber will take it on himself. Doesn't manage to get that one into touch, but that was a lot of pressure there coming from the Highlanders early on in this contest. Forsyth Barr, Peter Gus still on the out, All Blacks wise. I think he's going to be unlucky. I think he might end up just missing out. Unless someone's injured, there might be a chance because he's got that option of playing lock as well. It seems like a good choice to have someone who's got that versatility. So whether that is Peter Gus, who else have we got who does both? Tupavai, he's done a little bit of it. Maybe he's the one that they go with as that bit of a combo deal. Nice tackle made by Damian McKenzie. Now the Highlanders 25 metres out from Chiefs line. Nice run from Hugh Renton. Starting at 8 for this game. Freddie Burns now trying to sling the wide pass. Didn't quite find it the way that he wanted. Now getting driven backwards. It is Scott Gregory who has had a haircut. Got the short hair now going. I just tuned in. Am I late for the coronation? It is going on at the moment, isn't it? I had no idea it was happening until my mum mentioned it the other day. That is going to be illegal from the Chiefs in the breakdown, so the penalty will go the way of the Highlanders now. And absorbed pressure, says Mr. JJ. And Chiefs Mana in there, says Daniel. And also fabulous Hamish. Where's George? George is at the pub. There's a sending off for a Canadian fella. He's going back to Canada. So, yeah, they're having a bit of a send-off for him. And also his mum was cooking spaghetti and he wasn't missing that for the world. Freddie Burns looking for the corner again. First try scorer says Ed. I'm going to say it will be a Highlanders player. I'm going to say Thomas Umaga Jensen. I'll go with that. And it's Charlie Jaguars officially top of the ship pile now. Wait. Charlie Jaguars. Charlie Jaguars. That name should ring a bell, but my name does not. No, that name should ring a bell. What did I say? Said something different, didn't I? Let's go New Zealand Rugby. There's Justin Chiefs by 20 thrown in now by Andrew Makaleo. Nicely taken by Hugh Renton. Billy Harmon off the back to Smith. Short ball to Fatuli Pyatt. Absolutely bulldozing into the opposition now. Nice run from Jermaine Ainsley. 10 metres out, but it's stolen by the Chiefs once again. Brad Weber on his left boot. Gets it down towards 40 metres out now from their line, but Sam Gilbert's got some space. Great tackle made by a Moni Naroa. Gets him around the bootlaces and stops that counter-attacking opportunity. Now Shannon Frizzell runs it at the line, tackled by Jacobson and Taukiaho. Smith, inside ball, nicely done from Dixon. I mean, all Highlanders so far in terms of the position, probably about 95% now. Fabian Holland has a crack short side. Frizzell considered the offload. Oh, Tell you what, oh, he's unlucky there. I thought that was going to be a turnover there for Sean Stevenson, but I believe he's given away the penalty in the process. Slapped back by Smith. Look close to a knock on. But will we play on just for now? Now Smith once again goes back across. Freddie Burns going to try the low attacking cross kick. Goes straight into the hands of Narawa, and they'll go back for another penalty. George is getting drunk safe. And there says Mr. JJ. I don't know if he's getting drunk because he's driving home, but the Canadian's certainly probably going to be consuming a few beverages. I think he can drink quite heavily as well. And really good offload. Says Adam. I have a feeling someone's going to get a yellow card, says Ed. Probably. Some stage throughout this contest. It's interesting that we've only got one game, though, tonight rather than the two, which does mean we've got 4 games back-to-back tomorrow. Now, we're hoping to cover at least 3 out of the 4, if not all 4. But then the problem we've got is then we get a 2-hour break, and then we've got 3 more games that we're covering back-to-back-to-back. So it's going to be a hectic day tomorrow to save the vocal cords as much as we can because we may not have a voice on Sunday. Now, Shannon Frizzell, rolling maul here. The Highlanders have got possession 5 metres out from the Chiefs line again. Now, just edging ever so slightly. Smith goes back across to Thomas Umaga Jensen. Great run from him. 2 metres out. Now, Smith goes short to Frizzell. Drops his head so close to the line here. Smith goes to Ethan de Groot. The big Southlander gets over the line. And the Highlanders strike first at Forsyth Barr. Tell you what, that will very much impress the home crowd who have shown up for this contest. But Ethan de Groot, the big prop, gets himself the first try of the day in 6.5 minutes. You're not streaming Warriors Magic Round, says Ed. I believe they are playing at the same stage or the same time as the Western Force play the Crusaders. So we've had quite a few overlaps between Super Rugby and the NRL so far, but we're hoping to get some Warriors games in some stage very soon. We'll be watching that game probably on another screen, but we won't be able to stream it due to Crusaders Western Force playing as well. Really good offload, says Adam. And hopefully we get through. And a Sam playing. Sam Gilbert is. Sam Kane is. I think they're the only 2 Sams that are out there. But both Sams playing. And lining up this kick, Sam Gilbert gets it over, and that will make the score now 7-0 in favour of the Highlanders after 7 minutes. And they've had, like I mentioned, 95% possession. So the Chiefs, all they've been able to do is kick that one down the field. And that's about it. Sorry, George Dyer next week, says Mr. JJ. And also we have got there, don't underestimate the Highlanders. And Nazi has got an interesting picture there. That's very nice drawing, Nazi, for the start. Go the Highlanders, he says as well. Come on, just like one try to the Highlanders and having trouble with the phone connection. I'm trying to join membership for Kiwi Lads today. Hopefully Highlanders ahead, says Ruth. Yeah, you'll have access to those exclusive emojis on the channel. Looking very fancy indeed. Although you do use a lot of emojis already, so I feel like it will fit right in. As Jermaine Ainsley goes across to Ethan de Groot, the 2 Highlanders props linking up together just outside of their own 22 now, the Highlanders. Aaron Smith's going to have to go for this box kick. It's a high. Going close to the touchline, but won't go out. Instead, it's going to be bouncing up awkwardly. Gregory with a slight knock on. Goes down Moni Narua, who does throw the forward pass. Advantage might have been over, so now it is going to be the Highlanders. Got the option of either the scrum or the line-out. They've actually taken that one extremely quickly there, the Highlanders, are now kicking it in behind, looking for a possible 50-22, although he did slightly chicken out of it, went straight down the middle of the field. Now Damien McKenzie inside of his own 22 again. Looks like Sean Stevenson will be the man who puts boot to ball. Gets it into touch. Decent kick, but about 38 metres out now. The Highlanders, once again, are going to have themselves another line-out. Thanks, mate. In the office, listen to the game. Cheers from sunny Zurich. Zurich. If I said that correctly, I hope one of those was correct. But hopefully you are having a great day so far. Kinzel. An evening, Kiwi lads. Hope your week's been good, Hamish. Up the Chiefs just finished work. Says Nate. There as well. Week's gone very quick. I couldn't believe how quickly we got to Thursday. Because I swear we only just finished streaming and then all of a sudden we were ready to go for this round, which we have got 7 games back-to-back tomorrow, maybe 6 if we do take a break in between, but should be exciting, should be challenging, which is good. Kicked into touch by Sam Gilbert. Now the Chiefs, 45 metres out from the Highlanders line, have got themselves a line out. And AH, who was the try scorer Ethan de Groot, managed to get himself the try. So probably not a name that a lot of people would have anticipated as the first try scorer, but he got over the line. He's done very nicely. Put a lazy tenner on him each week as the first try scorer, says Mr. JJ. Or George Dye there. And thanks, Hamish. Rocking. Come on, the Chiefs. Is Kane doing better these days? No late nights. Says Ruth. He's been consistently all right, I would say, is the description of Sam Kane. But then you got to ask the question, is consistency or consistently being all right good enough to help the All Blacks possibly get a World Cup? Who knows? I feel like there's other options at 7. Maybe Papali'i might go ahead of Kane, but I still think Kane will be somewhere in that squad. Nicely done. Going off to Umaga, Jensen ball on the outside. Here comes Scott Gregory. Now he'll be just a little bit quicker now because he has lost the rest of his hair. That makes him a little bit more aerodynamic. That's a drop ball from Fabian Holland. Knocked on by the Highlanders. We will have the scrum in favour of the Chiefs. And the week felt like 3 days, not 7 days. Says Nate, exactly right. And how many cards? Guess Sam had this year? Says Mr. JJ. Seems like you're really not liking us today, Mr. JJ. You weren't happy when I said the Highlanders might win. You told me to piss off. Now I said Sam Kane's been consistently all right. You told me to piss off again. Sounds like I'm in a marriage. Now, looking at this one, just dropped by Fabian Holland. Just didn't quite get it right, unfortunately. Drop ball. And also, is it the morning? Your place? No, we are sitting 7:15 p.m. at this stage. So a little bit in the evening. And Carl has said, Hamish, welcome in, mate. If you are keeping well. It will be morning for Carl, though, because he is in South Africa. And Kia ora, Roof. Hope all as well, says Nazi. And his Blackadder back. I haven't been following Super Rugby all that much. I can tell you that I'm not sure about Blackadder, but I know that Will Jordan is back this week for the Crusaders up against the Western Force. Nicely taken there by Sam Gilbert, just outside of his 22. So this one cannot find touch on the full. Instead, Damian McKenzie takes it inside of his own 22. Cross to Stevenson. And that one is going into touch. Good kick downfield again from Stevenson. Hello, Hamish. Sounds like a marriage. Classic one, boss. Says Nate there. And g'day, Hamish. Let's go the Mighty Chiefs, says David the Mob. Welcome in, David. Chiefs, they haven't had to come back too many times throughout their Super Rugby season. I believe up against the Blues did they have to come back, or the Hurricanes. One of those two sides they were behind, but then they managed to fight back. Yes, it's morning time for a pepper steak pie from the gas station. That sounds actually very nice. I had a beef cheese pie about 2 weeks ago from a bakery, and it was quite fancy. Took me mum out for lunch. Nicely bouncing there for the Highlanders, just outside of the 22. Freddie Burns will kick that one into touch. And now, once again, the territory game does continue just a little bit longer. And also, we have got their PI stands for private investigators. I think Sam Kane is just a naughty boy, like a lot of them says Roof, and come on the Highlanders and the Blues. David and Sam Kane shouldn't be in 7, should be on the bench or out altogether. Yeah, see, I don't see him as a starting option. I see him as someone that they might consider taking as a bit of a late injection into the game. Maybe could have some sort of impact. But, yeah, starting-wise, I don't know whether or not he's the best option. Nicely stolen there from Amoni Narawa. No, he's hands down on the ground, says Ben O'Keefe. He's disappointed. I think he just said that was a bit of BS from Amoni Narawa. He's not happy. He's shaking his head. It only goes the way of the Highlanders again. Streaming the URC quarterfinals, we are streaming 3 out of the 4. The only game that we'll be missing is Ulster versus Connacht, which is taking place tomorrow morning at about 6:30 a.m. But we will be streaming Sharks versus Leinster, Bulls versus Stormers, and also Glasgow taking on Munster, all back-to-back, 3 in a row. And Kia ora, Hamish, up the Chiefs, says Big Light. And yeah, I enjoy steak and kidney with extra ketchup, says Ruth. Thrown in now by Andrew Makaleo, nicely taken by Dixon. Sacked. And it looks like, yep, that's a penalty to the Chiefs. Ngātaua Koi getting over it nicely. Ben O'Keefe's had to do a lot of explaining throughout the early stages of this match. Good sack from Tupavai. And the penalty goes the way of the Chiefs. This reminds me of that Gary Ringrose try, the first minute of the Leicester Tigers game this year. Says Adam, and come on the Chiefs, don't let us down. And Hamish, please don't get married yet. You're too sweet to be attracted to some man-eating woman, says Ruth. I'll take that as a compliment, Ruth. Thank you. Well, to be fair, to get married, I got to find a girlfriend first. That would be a good start. My mum's just laughed at me. She can only just hear me. Oh, she's laughing at the TV. She wasn't laughing at me. That's all right. She'd have to approve of them too, I think, my mumsy. Our Tupavai charging forward here for the Chiefs. Weber. Nice work from Daniel Rona. Anyone wondering if you can hear my mum laughing, pretty much what we've got is she's got her Bluetooth headphones on and she's watching the TV behind. So is it quite funny, is it? You're watching a comedy. It's gone high now from the Highlanders, nicely taken by Burns. And look, we have all the players in the world to win the World Cup. The only problem, wrong coach, says Bodamek. And these Southerners are playing with great passion. I, for one, don't like it, says David. Now going off to the side. Natoa Koi looks for the offload. Doesn't quite manage to find it clean, but it goes to Daniel Rona on the halfway line. Yeah, there's been a lot of territory being played. Not a lot of running meters made by either side. That was a great pickup from Luke Jacobson. But still, they find themselves inside of their own half. Natoa Koi. Dragged down by Hugh Renton. Now Weber goes back to McKenzie. Another forward pass to Aiden Ross. Very lucky not to have that one called. Now Weber goes back to McKenzie. Decides to go for the kick up high. Nicely taken from Burns underneath it. Goes across to Gilbert, who has got a big boot. And he will thump it down the middle of the park. Bouncing up nicely for Sean Stevenson. This is a great chance now for him to stretch his leg and get some space. Beautiful offload there. Oh, no. Is there an injury there? It looks like there might be. For Mali. Mali didn't look like he was too happy with the way he was running there. Looks like he's maybe done either a hammy or a knee. Ball available for the Chiefs on the 22 now. Weber goes back to McKenzie. Little dummy self goes to Ross, who knocks the ball on. That doesn't seem to be working at the moment, that combination of McKenzie and Ross. Now, Smith has got plenty of time to kick it into touch, and they will go back for the scrum. And I'll call you after the stream, bro, says Daniel. And also, Ben O'Keefe, I have a lot to say about him, says Big Light and G'day, Donna. Grab a seat and jump on, says David. I think she's heavily invested in a movie at the moment. I can see her through the reflection of the window. I can see what's happening. Hamish, you haven't tried making a girlfriend? Or you have too shy to make one? Well, the thing is, you can make one slightly, you know. All you need is, a few bags of something, a couple pillows, and then you got your night sorted. No, I haven't tried making a girlfriend at this stage. Just chilling by myself. I can see my mum looking at me. At the moment, it's lonely sometimes. No, it's 17 minutes in. Mali off the field for Gatlin because he did get injured. Unfortunately, Munster were the only team to beat the ABs in 78 and one other time. At least give a penalty to the Chiefs, says Adam. And also, I couldn't get tickets for the Stormers game, completely sold out. That's pretty massive for them. I'm sure they'll be pretty happy with a sellout. Not so good for yourself, Carl, but I'm sure you'll be watching that game eagerly. See who manages to get it. And hey, Carl, garage pie for breakfast. And D-Mac needs a minute or 20 to get into the game. Mr. JJ. Now it is going to be a scrum for the Highlanders, still on the 22 here, but Gatlin being out there early means they've got a couple more playmaking options for the Chiefs, which may actually work quite nicely because McKenzie has been going to Ross, whereas in this case, I feel like if he's going to Gatlin, they're going to have a lot more success. And it's a bit creepy considering she's just staring at you, says Adam. No, she's not like staring. She's just popping in between, looking through the window and looking out at her movie. And why make one when you can inflate one? What a motto, eh? Yeah, Gareth, you know it. And a Red Bull. Kiwi lads, are you going to do the commentary of the King's correlation in the UK tomorrow? Old King Charles finally scores and is made king, says Roof. I'll be honest, I didn't really know that it was happening until my mum mentioned about it. Like, I am really not schooled up on what's happening around the world. I just I watch sport and that's about all I do. And work. That's about it. Like, I didn't know it was really working. Still a bit creepy, says Adam. Not really. Like, I was looking at her as well. So do you consider me creepy because I was looking and then she looked? So I was starting the looking process. So really, if anyone is creepy, it would be me for starting it when you think about it. I have faith, says Mr. JJ. Now the ball's going to be available for the Chiefs. 45 meters out. Goes round with the pick and go there, Luke Jacobson. Makes an extra 10 meters. So Aaron Smith went flying over the middle of the breakdown. Now Weber goes off to bring Gatlin his first carry of the day. And the ball is loose in the breakdown. Picked up by Hugh Renton in Queen Camp. says Mr. JJ. Now available. Highlanders go back to Thomas Umanga Jensen. And wait, I missed that. Who was staring at who? Pretty much I looked off to the side because we were talking about inflating a girlfriend. And I looked off to the side, and then my mum looked through the window because she's inside as well. It's like the reflection, like a mirror. That's where it came from. Now, nice run from Amoni Narawa. He's got plenty of space. Got the pace to go. Oh, what a run! Amoni Narawa's just cut a hole through about 4 Highlanders defenders. That's a great try. And it kind of came from nowhere. He just ran it, and it worked. Just kept on beating all the Highlanders defenders. Amoni Narawa, the Blues will be looking at that going, why did we let that man go? 6th try of the season. 12th for his career. Right. So what happens here? Sean Stevenson, 40 metres out from the Chiefs line. Then McKenzie runs it back. Wide cut out pass to Amoni Narawa. Goes through Billy Harmon, who wasn't able to catch him. Goes round Sam Gilbert. Goes through Freddie Burns. And scores the try on Amoni Narawa. And what a try, says Big Light. And we have Connacht later. About, I think, chance of the semi-final, says Gregor. The all-star right under the post. And Charles becoming king. England loses the World Cup. Still wanted to, but I wouldn't want to be stared at like that. I think it's just a skinwalker, says Adam. Although the thing is, there's a difference between staring and eye contact, you know? Like, if I went like this, it's eye contact. If I went like this, it counts more as staring, you know? There's a bit of a difference. You can put GIF animation backgrounds such as snow on the green screen? It certainly can. I can have anything I like within reason in the background behind me. He shouldn't be king. Oh no. And also, what awkward questions, Hamish, about your love life? It's so funny, says Ruth. Yeah, I'm used to it by now. Questions about what's happening in the world of Hamish's dating life. Kicked off high from the Highlanders, score back to now 7-all between these two sides. Glance and a look difference, says Mr. JJ. Now Moni Narawa wrestled down on the 22. Now ball going to be available for Weber. Goes off to the left-hand side. Sam Kane now goes to Josh Dixon. Brad Weber goes to Gatlin, who was in the pocket, kicks it downfield. Actually a very good kick. Get that distance, and also a bouncing ball that was awkward for Sam Gilbert to be able to clean up. And now he tries to run it back, runs straight at George Dyer. Driven backwards. Apparently for the Highlanders, they just need to find that momentum that they had in the first 7 minutes or so. Freddie Burns now, good run forward from Hugh Renton. Flick pass on the outside. Connor Garden-Bishop needed to pass that ball. Got a little bit greedy and got dragged down by Sean Stevenson there. Now going off to Jermaine Ainsley. Crawls forward a little bit. Ngātoa Akoi in the breakdown over the ball. He's got the penalty again. Ngātoa Akoi having a brilliant game in the breakdown so far. Never make eye contact. And Queen sounds like a fancy way to say prostitute, says Gareth. And yeah, George, says Mr. JJ. I feel the same about Charles. And damn hey, says Ruth. See, I don't know anything about the royal family. I don't know anything, full stop. How many kids has old William and Kate got now? They got 2 or 3. There's George. I know that because I've got a friend named George, don't I? George. Charlotte, not Charlie, Charlotte. Do they have another little tiny one running around, or probably crawling around at the moment, or have they only got the 2? And they shouldn't, about your love life, as long as you commentate sports. Or Weirton, weird. They shouldn't, Weirton. I've never heard that word. That's a fancy word, David. And so fancy, I don't actually know what it means, unfortunately. Louise. Louis. Is it Louis? Might be Louis. There's about 4 ways you can say that, isn't there? Nice run. Once again, there's going to be the advantage to the Chiefs. Simasoni Taukiaho goes off to the left, chipped in behind, sits up. Sean Stevenson, the future AB, going to get himself another try for the Chiefs. It just looked that little bit easy. And went and warmed a cheeseburger and scoffed it after that after that pie talk. Thanks, guys and gals. Warmed a cheeseburger. That sounds a bit rough. Now, hopefully you warmed it enough to the point of being nice and hot. And all you need to know is Charles has large ears and the ginger likes his chocolate. There you go. Shooter, There's another one, but it was good kick of mine from Daniel Rona. And then Sean Stevenson, all he had to do was run it in, and that will be the second try of the match now for the Chiefs after 24 minutes. Where's the Chiefs? Move it, boys. And Stevenson, let's go see a big light. I had the most amazing volcano pile of Belgian waffles with a huge vanilla ice cream balls with dripping fudge, chocolate, and toffee sauce. Took me 2 hours to eat it. It sounds like that's like 5,000 calories, Riff. That would have been quite the meal. Nice little chip in behind. There's just been gaps for the Highlanders. Like they're saying, Daniel Rona wasn't expecting the chance that he's been given so far this season, but he's doing absolutely brilliantly. Look at that. At the top of the list, Sean Stevenson, 10 tries, 2 ahead of the second place Cooper Rig, I think it is. And second, Charles has ears like Shrek, says Roof. It sounds like the Highlanders have lost Fabian Holland as well, so they've had to make that change. Are they getting into gear now, says Big Light? Like, if I'm just being stared at like someone is about, or something is about to happen, only stares like when you're about to think something is about to happen to me, I'd just run. I see. Oh, that's a knock on from Simonson Tokiaho. Now Josh Dixon picks it up nicely. Aaron Smith goes off to Shannon Frizzell. So it is Sam Withy, or Sean Withy, sorry, now. Has made his way onto the field. Short ball. Hugh Renton. Great work again. That was Peter Gustasoa cooler that time. And also there will be exposed rock on the chest as well as large ears. Ears, sausages for fingers. And bro, I've never been patient with the microwave. Always pull out before the dings. Oosh. That don't right. Although with the microwave, if you're cooking something late at night, that's the tactic. You wait until it's like 1 second left. You click the button so that it doesn't go beep, beep, beep since everyone else is asleep. Looks like Brad Weber's actually going to go off the field for an HIA here. And also, OMG, I just realized the Chiefs had 12 points. They certainly do. Although, it should be 14. But it's not. Okay, Shannon Frizzell is playing lock due to the change that they had to make. Missed conversion, says Daniel. Did they miss or did they get it over? Got 14 at the moment on the screen. On the side there for Brad Weber. So he didn't actually need to go off for the HIA. He will be continuing out there, but the penalty goes the way of the Highlanders, just out from their own 22. And also, won't lie, when I first watched Suits, I was also like, damn, it's a fair play, Ginger, fair play. That's old Meghan Markle, isn't it? Now, Freddie Burns kicks it into touch. I don't know what William's last name is. No, not William. Harry. What's the royal family's last name? Harry William. This is really bad. I know that he's got a last name. That's one thing. It's normally, no, they just go Prince Harry, don't they? What's his actual last name, ladies and gentlemen? I have no idea. Now, for Dooley Pie had a bit of a juggle, picked up by Sean Stevenson. He's going to be going again. Flick pass, brilliant work. Give him the black jersey already. It's the try for Anton Leonard-Brown in his 100th match. Let's see those two tearing it up soon for the All Blacks. The big Will's got heaps of dollars for Viagra. That's why, says Nuzzy Williams. William has 3 kids. He certainly has been busy. And also Anton Leonard-Brown. Says, no, Mum, I saw a wild flesh appear. He pops in every once in a while. He does. He's like a chameleon of flesh, and not just because of the blue hair, but because he stays camouflaged. No one sees him. And then every once in a while, when there's a fly or something that he thinks, oh, I have a piece of that, you see him. And then all of a sudden, he goes back to his camouflage. Asia was delicious. So much sugar. I was spinning all day and night. Highlanders to bounce back, says Nuzzy Williams. It's certainly going to take a bit, though, because Daniel Leonard-Brown, is he playing in this match? He is. He's off the bench. Currently, his brother's tearing it up on the field. I want to see those two go head-to-head at some stage, though. Sex Coburg Gotha is the real name. But they changed it to Windsor. Really? So it's Harry Windsor. That's a brilliant trivia question, because I would have never got that. Damian McKenzie, 10 points away from the 1,000 points. Be a major milestone for McKenzie after recently bringing up the 100 matches. William and Harry Bosch, or Boucher, you say it, wouldn't you? McKenzie with a big smile on his dial. Lining up the kick again. And he's successful. Has gone over House of Windsor. Another weird bunch of blue blood. And Anton Leonard Brown, incredible, says David the Mod. And tell you what, beautiful offload from Sean Stevenson. Just has such good awareness. Know exactly where his teammates are at all times. He saw Leonard Brown, flicks it out the back. And then Leonard Brown just had a little bit too much pace for Sam Gilbert. Go the Chiefs, says Clovis. In there as well. Going to be kicked off. Nicely kicked back from Tupavai. I believe that's going to be a knock on. Sitting off the head. That's now going to be a scrum feed for the Chiefs. We have got a new member on the channel. It is Julia Day. Thank you very much. Hit on that membership button. You now have access to exclusive emojis. George is playing Farming Simulator. I've just had the notification. He told me he was going to be at the pub. And he also said if he wasn't at the pub, he was going to be editing. Exposed. Hopefully MD can feed the ball to those lads. And also I used to live in Datchet. Datchet, is that how you say it? Which is a small village near or next to Windsor. Come on, H-Landers, fight back, says Peter Stowers. And it does roll off the tongue better, that's for sure, says Big Light. Come on, Kane, shake it, baby, get over that line. So Sam Kane's getting told off at the moment by the referee, Ben O'Keefe. So they're saying that the call should be overruled. So I think the Highlanders may have actually ended up with that ball. Yes, they do. Hello, says Nazi Williams. An evening, Juliet, says Mr. JJ. Our ball available just outside of the 22. And the Queen and her family are Krauts. Prince Philip's sister was married to Nut. Well, there you go. They changed it during World War One, scared of the country turning on them. There's some history there, isn't there? That was almost a knock on from Smith, but they have got the advantage now for the Highlanders. Wide cut-out pass, does drift backwards. Connor Garden Bishop never was going to be passing that ball. Now Smith goes back across to Freddie Burns, Billy Harmon, Fatuli Pyre through Ethan de Groot's hand, went backwards. And now Andrew Makaleo gets a chance down the wing. And welcome to the Cavaliers, Juliet. Hence the surname Boucher. Okay, they will be going back for the penalty in favour of the Highlanders after the scrum. I mean, my score of 21-24 might still be doable. It's just that if that's to happen, the Chiefs wouldn't be able to score any more points, which I don't see happening. I feel like they're on a bit of a roll. Freddie Burns kicks that one into touch. Should I send George a message and ask if he's keen to come in for the second half and see if he says, no, I'm editing? Even though we know he's playing Farmo, so no, that would be too harsh, wouldn't it? 8 minutes remaining. Congrats, Antoine, for his 100. I also used to live in Slough, which is really close to Windsor. I did check out Napoli's celebration last night party because I got her. I have not seen that, no. Is George a chaotic drunk? He's chaotic as it is. So I guess he just maybe ups it by like 0.25%. Now Harmon 5 meters out from the line. Only just brought down. That ball is available. Now Smith, they've got the advantage as well. Nice ball off to Freddie Burns. Tries to step round Ada Ross. Was not having none of it all. He's been pushed over the line onto his back. It's going to be held up. But I believe the Chiefs have to release that, do they, if it's back in play? Is it back in play? No. A little bit stuck. We will pass the hat and the cab, Hamish. And do Hamish, that's what good mates do, check each other. There's Nazi Williams. And also Chiefs making a headway. Highlanders stranded. Right, they do want to go upstairs for this one. We'll quickly make sure he is still playing Farming Simulator. He is, yes. We'll do it at halftime. We'll give him a ring. Party, free foods and alcohol. Says Blues nay. So they have penalty advantage. They just want to check whether or not maybe he's dragged down by an offside player. Right, so Brad Weber makes the tackle. Nicely done. I think that's still up. You can't see it. Tupavai's done very well getting in the way of it. And up the Chiefs D. Yeah, they're certainly making it difficult for the Highlanders to get over the line. Ring them now, says Mr. JJ. Ruth, have you ever Googled the small island where Princess Diana was buried? Is Stephen? Right, I think it's going back for the penalty. There's no clear, conclusive evidence that that one has gone down over the line. Held up, would be a goal line dropout. They had the penalty advantage, so they are going back for it. Right, looks like Aaron Smith was considering the 5-meter quick tap and go there. But he's conceded 6 so far against the Chiefs. The not rolling away penalty. Not too sure who got penalised for that one. And Mr. JJ, what's the JJ stand for? John James. And also, we have got Landers used to be a good team. What's wrong now? And get skirt and high heels out. Get ready to jump on pole for the dance at Nate's party. That one, I knew that something, I wasn't sure if it was going to be bad or not. So I slowly read it and then slowly kept digging myself into it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, though. Nazi? Now, Aaron Smith about to feed the ball in here for the Highlanders. Renton may want to use this one off the back. That's close to another advantage. Although one of the Highlanders players actually going down to his knees. It's moved too much, so they do have to go again. Also, last time they were good was 2015, unfortunately, says Big Light. Yeah, it's been quite a while, although as long as they're in the top 8, that is the big thing for them. They can stay in the top 8, then, anything's possible. Yes, you're going to be taking on maybe the Chiefs again. I like it's on a private estate. And saw some awesome Paddy or Potty TKTR with Aaron Smith last week. And I must watch for any fans that found a respect for the bloke or newfound respect. YKTR, that stands for something. I can't think of what it stands for. What would happen if the Chiefs lose this game? Would they still be top of the table? One moment. It depends on the Brumbies result, I believe. Currently, as we sit, the Chiefs, they're 8 points clear, so they cannot lose first place. Okay, big push now from Aaron Smith. Off to the left-hand side to Thomas Umaga Jensen. Now Smith again goes with a short ball. Big run from Sean Whiffy. Looks like Vi's injured, right? That's something to watch out for. See how injured he is. Now he's got back up to his feet. He's just pretty wobbly. Oh, it looks like it will be an HIA Akalau, I said, but Makalau close. Smith goes over. And Aaron Smith scores the try for the Highlanders. That will get them just a little bit further back into the contest now. So George has said that they are leaving for the pub soon. So he hasn't been yet, so we can't be too rough on him. He must have had the spaghetti, though. He would have absolutely loved it. Oh, no. He loves the spaghetti, but that is going to be a great sniping run from Aaron Smith. Chiefs can make the quarters, not the semis, says Spider Mick. And also, when you bloody spread it after punching, Smithy too good, says the snooze. Now, Sam Gilbert, important kick for him here. Anyone wondering about the odds on the TAB? Highlanders are $5.75 underdogs, Chiefs $1.10 favourites. As we currently sit, that's okay. Smith needs confidence for the cup, says Big Light. And also demand Smithy. See, I gave him good energy, says Nazi Williams. Now 4 minutes remaining, 14 points to 21. Yeah, just managed to sneak under George Dyer, who punches the ground out of frustration. You've got to be careful doing that. We saw Devon Conway in the cricket. He punched his bat after going out and actually broke his hand. Had to miss a lot of the competition. Time for the Chiefs to hit back, says Nobbum. Happy to call reinforcements, more beverage, and hospitality workers, says Blues Nate. Nicely taken by Fatuli Pie. Come on, the Chiefs, says Jeanette. Will you ever comment on Gar? Will you ever comment on Gar? Gar. Probably not, because I don't know what Gar is. Nicely taken by Damien McKenzie. 38 metres out from the line. Chiefs in possession. Now, Sam K gets smacked in the face with it by Bryn Gatlin. He wasn't expecting that one. Now Sam Gilbert with a chip and chase. Nicely done here by the Highlanders. Just stays in the field of play. Sam Gilbert, though. Eventually the ball goes into touch inside of the 22. What's the deal? Who's doing pole dancing with skirts? David Warner, yeah. Says Roof. And I was like, come on, the Chiefs. Says Jeanette. Nice work from Sam Gilbert to get it deep back into Chiefs territory again. That is something that the Highlanders need to use a lot. Akoi did brilliantly to run from where he was. And also, we have good there, never condone violence, says Mr. JJ. And also, who's the Blues' next opponent? The Blues have got Moana Pacifica tomorrow at 7:05. That should be a good game. Now, Weber goes across to Samasoni Taukiaho, tackled by Frizzell. Now, Gatland has to kick it, get it back down the field. Nicely taken again by Freddie Burns. He has had quite an impact with starting this game. Now, Gilbert runs it back. Pretty good throughout the contest as well. Now, nicely done for Tuli Pire. Option on the outside of using Gregory, decides against it. 40 metres out now from the Chiefs line, still with 2 minutes remaining in the half. Like I mentioned, plenty of time. Get themselves a try. Sam Cane almost got the turnover. Quite able to rip that ball out of there. Now Thomas Umunga Jensen kicked it in mine. I don't think that was the best kick, unfortunately. Now Gatlin gets it across to McKenzie, who will now have plenty of time of being able to run it back. And he is doing just that. Damien McKenzie sniping up the middle, missing tackles, flat out here the Highlanders. Now Brad Weber pins his ears back, just tackled on the 22 by Sam Gilbert. Found the offload to Amoni Narua. Now Big Peter Gustoa Kula Dyer decides he wants to go himself. He gets there. And that is a massive mistake from Thomas Umunga Jensen. Just led to a brilliant try for the tight head prop. This actually has been a good game, not going to lie, says Blues Nate. Oh, sorry, that was Big Light. And now lots of folks wearing Chiefs gear in Hamilton, I've noticed. Only wear the gear when they're winning, says Marco Vanapola. Yeah, side always does get more popular when they've got a few more wins under the belt. Just look at the Warriors. They had a good crowd at their last game, didn't they? There was even a sign of someone who had been supporting them for ages saying, look at all the bandwagon people that we now have in our stadium. It's a great run. Massive mistake. Like I mentioned from Thomas Umunga Jensen, just gave up possession, kicked it away. And the Chiefs said, all right, we'll run it back then. Moana Pacifica and the Blues, says Blues Nate. Freddie Burns at 10. Yes, indeed. And so let's go to Big Boy and the crotch area going up, down, up, down, up, down. And awesome animated, exciting commentary, Amish. Going to the top, bro, mark my words. Says Nazi. And there as well. But that will be the first try for George Dyer by Thomas Umunga Jensen. A beverage after that one. But it was just great offloading work as well. Just continuing to keep that ball moving. Then Dyer, when he was that close to the line, he was never passing. The big men, when they get the chance, they will take it on. Yeah, George Dyer scoring the try. He's taken some big breaths now. He had to work hard to actually be in support. He was alongside a few other backs. Now the kickoff for the Highlanders, just drifting the 10 metres. Beautifully taken by Scott Gregory. Now Smith considered kicking that one into touch, but looks like the Highlanders want to have one last crack before the end of the first 40. Gilbert back across to Burns. Now going one more off to Thomas Umunga Jensen. Needs to try and get himself a try back. That last little bit of a mistake. Now Jermaine Ainsley charges forward. Smith cross to Freddie Burns using the left-hand side of the field here. Shannon Frizzell, beautiful offload. And now Sam Gilbert finds the pass. Not quite. It's a knock on Sean Withy. Unfortunately, just a little bit too far behind him. That will be halftime, though. 28 points to 14. D-Mac has his kicking boots on tonight. Yeah, no kicks missed by either side throughout the first 40 minutes of this one. And let's go. The big boy says Big Light, and also Chiefs, says Mr. Lerm. Like this. Like that. There we go. So, with that, now the Highlanders are $12 underdogs. So not quite in this match as much as they once were. Looking at the statistics at the moment, what else can we learn about this one? Hasn't got any lineouts or scrum wins. We've seen 5 wins in a row from the Chiefs. Highlanders at the moment, they're on a bit of a streak. I have to say, last week they were able to get themselves they actually lost. So they're actually on a 3-match losing streak, sorry. Before that, they were on a 2-match winning streak. So, yeah, they've lost their last 3 games. D-Mac or McKenzie, yes, on a solid front row. Ross, Takiaho, and George Dyer. Very solid. And also D-Mac proves himself more and more every game, says Inkies. Also the Chiefs. And good score so far, says Big Light. And thoughts on that half, Hamish? Chiefs for the W? I think it was a very entertaining half. I think the Highlanders held their own at times throughout the half, which is great to see because I was worried that there was a chance it could be a one-sided affair. Now, that's not saying the full-time result couldn't end up that way, but first half, Highlanders scoring first, I think added a little bit more investment into the match for a lot of people. But overall, the Chiefs, when they got the opportunities, they absolutely made the most of it. When the Highlanders were close to the Chiefs line, the Chiefs were defending well. The Highlanders were still able to find those couple gaps every once in a while. Don't be afraid to click the like button, says Mark. Yeah, anyone who hasn't, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I hope Hamish and George escape Waimedi one day and make it to the UK. I won't know what hit them when they land at Heathrow. Although I quite like our small town we're in. Like, we've got a lot of stuff that we can do, whether that is local sport, bit of fishing as well we've been doing lately. Caught a few big ones the other day. But, like, yeah, it's not bad being in a small town. I feel like other than the fact that you have to travel 30 minutes, like any sort of, like, fast food, she's all right. Mackenzie will continue to get points. Maybe Sean Stevenson, says Mr. Lerm. And, yeah, Mackenzie getting closer and closer to 1,000 points in Super Rugby. A pretty massive achievement. Hopefully the Chiefs score the first try in the second half. Master Mal just texted. He said Brumbies at the top of the table, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, they're not too far off. Second place at the moment on 32. Chiefs in first on 40. If they win this game with a bonus point, that would put them on 45, which I believe at this stage, how many games? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games remaining, which means theoretically, if the Chiefs were on 45 points and then 4 games, maximum 20 points, well, they can't actually go out of the top 8. And they almost can't go out of having a home final, even if they end up with a losing streak from here. So they'll be happy enough. It's just whether or not they continue home finals after that quarterfinals if they do win that contest. I should mention tomorrow, it is a big day for rugby. We are going to be doing the game between the Fijian Drua and the Hurricanes. That is kicking off at 2:05 p.m. New Zealand time. Alongside that, we are doing the Crusaders versus Force game at 4:35. Blues versus Moana Pacifica. They are going to be playing at 7:05. We will be covering that one. Reds versus Waratahs at 9:35. That is a maybe at the moment, depending on how the voice is going. But the reason I say that is a maybe because we've got 3 games of the URC that we are also going to be covering throughout Sunday morning. The first of which going to be kicking off at 1:30 a.m. Stormers versus the Bulls. Leinster versus the Sharks. That is at 4 a.m. And then 6:35 Glasgow versus Munster. Are you doing the next match? Which next match is that, Connor? There is only one tonight. We've got 4 games back to back to back tomorrow and then one on Sunday for Super Rugby. But yeah, we've got a few big ones coming up in the near future. Satyrs cannot catch that. And also DMX is so small and fast. Coming in a great 10. So small, says Mr. Lerm. Also take your weeks off, Chiefs. I guess it would be one way of saving players, wouldn't it? And it was the Guildford Spectrum. Well done. I remember it had a strange name, says Stephen. I think that was to do with something earlier, wasn't it? I think I missed a majority what was happening for that one. Inflation, that's right. Up the Welsh, says Roof there. Do I know any of those people? I'm looking around. I feel like I'll recognize some people if I look close enough. Who's in Dunedin that I know? Not many people. I'm going to quickly, what you do, you see, is you go on Instagram and you see who's got their story. And then if anyone's got their story going, then you know that they're at the game. Although it doesn't look like anyone is at the game that I am friends with anyway. Brad Weber, he's posted something, but that was earlier on. I used to drive my car along the M25 each day, Roof, on the way to work. Absolutely hated it. Stephen, and the Munster match is on tomorrow night. Certainly is. Munster versus the Glasgow Warriors. We are going to be covering that one on the channel and definitely has that slick wax all over him, Mr. Learn. That boy Atiena and also Hone Plumtree going back to coach the Durban Sharks again. He says this is home away from home. Marco Vanapola. Yeah, I should mention with the URC, we actually ended up playing some of the quarterfinal matches on Rugby 22, a game that we haven't played in a long time. For some reason, I just felt like bringing it back out for the quarterfinals, see how I would go. So a game is actually going to be uploaded on the channel in 1 hour and 5 minutes time. And that is my version of Leinster versus the Sharks. Gareth, I can only apologize for what you will see in that video in terms of the score, but I did improve after that, I will say. Imagine the Chiefs don't show up for 3 weeks. It'd be very funny. Mr. JJ and also Stephen driving on the road. His house is roof. What we will quickly do though for Super Rugby is we are going to very quickly check out some stats for that first half and see exactly who has the momentum. I mean, Sean Stevenson, McKenzie, two players who I think will be right up there for running meters. Gilbert's had 89 for the Highlanders, so he is the most by far, actually ahead by 60 plus meters. Then Nuttall's had 84, McKenzie's had 64, Stevenson 64 as well. So Moni Nuttall getting a lot of running meters. How good is the first half? It was a good first half between the two sides. A lot of points being scored, 42 in total. And also, defenders been an 8 from Amoni Nuttall in that first half. So that is very impressive. Also, tackling stats, 9 for Billy Harmon, always a tackling machine, followed by 7, I think it is actually, for Hugh Renton, and then 8 tackles made by Anton Leonard-Brown, 9 made by Tupavai. They were the two highest for the Chiefs. And Highlanders will win, don't forget. Who's your AB's number 10, Seth Flying Pan Man? It's a tricky one because I feel like before the last few weeks, it was probably Moonga. I think Barrett, they might consider trying him at fullback again, depending on who is match fit, but that depends, of course, on Will Jordan, Geordie Barrett, etc., who they've got. But I don't know, McKenzie's doing very well. Definitely if you got Weber number 9. I feel like Weber and McKenzie would be the combo, but that's only if Weber's 9. If you've got someone else at 10, such as at 9, such as Aaron Smith, maybe Moonga, just because they seem to work quite well together. Dyer's first try says Mr. JJ. He certainly did very nicely, George Dyer, throughout that first half. I do see a slightly deflated Jonah Nareki in the background. He is just rearing to go to get out there onto the field. But currently, 80% chance that the Chiefs walk away with the victory here. Come through at. There was another thing that I was going to be looking at. What was it, though? Was it match stats? It might have been, actually. Yeah, looking at the match stats, we do see 392 meters gained by the Chiefs compared to 246 of the Highlanders. Do the Highlanders do a haka, or did they? No, not for this game. We are outside of the culture round now, so they only do it for that one. Halftime quiz should be about the monarchy and celebration of the coronation. No idea what that means, Stephen. I'll be honest with you. It's all very contingency plan, which is worrying, says Big Light. Tackle 75 made by the Chiefs, only missing the 9. That is somewhere where they've been very strong. Hardly missing any tackles, just out from their own try line. 6 penalties against the Chiefs, 3 against the Highlanders. And a KFC ad, we're seeing Stephen Pettifetta there. Also Marty Banks for the Highlanders. When was the last time we saw him in action? And Sam Kane should look gorgeous in a pair of fishnet stockings and high heels. Says Roof. I've never pictured Sam Kane in my head with high heels and stockings on. And also we have got there, what battery tool brand are you and your old man running at work, bro? We have got Makita, the one that he goes with. Makita, and to be honest, I think it's just all Makita. But he's got one of those tools that are actually very handy, which is one that you can use to like pump up tires and stuff. That's quite handy. We don't need that at the moment for work, but we did use it on the quad bike the other day. Yeah, I think he's a main Makita man. Got about 10 batteries. And I did it hard way, Roof. 10 years of torture living in the UK, says Stephen. Yeah, I was at work today. We actually got a roof on to a garage, which is way out in the hills. So that was ideal. But next work day, I think it's Monday. Maybe. Do we think the Highlanders are going to get the first try of the second half? I don't know. It's a tricky one. Halftime trivia says nice food takeaways. Tell you what, we'll ask Snapchat AI. She's or he's supposed to be smart, aren't they? We'll get a random trivia question from Snapchat AI. Be sure to answer it without Googling it. That's the main thing. Ask me a rugby question. Here we go. There we go. Ask me a rugby question. What's your favorite position in rugby? That's not what I meant. Ask me a rugby trivia question. We have got, oh, here we go. Who is the all-time leading point scorer in rugby union? Is it DC? Oh, how big was your fish, Hamish? My biggest fish that I caught was about 8 pounds, somewhere around there. And there's still heaps of them out there, but unfortunately, it's outside of the fishing window that you're allowed to actually fish them. Although, according to someone that I saw the other day, apparently because they're not a sports fish, so you don't need a license to fish them. It actually means you can fish them all year. What they were trying to say. So we might be able to do some more fishing at some stage in the future. Headache material for Fozzie, who should be starting 9 and 10 for the ABs. Israel Folau, says Mr. Lim, or Mr. Loom, sorry. Definitely not JW. And also, we have got there Dan Carter. So I'm going to say Dan Carter, I think. Dan Carter. Let's see if we're correct. Correct. You are a true rugby fan. Cheers, geez. Ask another one. There we go. Ask another one. What is the name of the trophy that is awarded to the winner of the Six Nations Rugby Championship? Eh? Okay, that's the question we've got, ladies and gentlemen. It was Dan Carter, though. It's a bait fish, says Mr. JJ. You could say that I'm a master baiter. But yeah, what is the name of the trophy that is awarded to the winner of the Six Nations Rugby Championship? What do they mean by that? The Six Nations Rugby Championship. What's the name? Is that just the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup, Six Nations Trophy? Yeah. Is it just the six? Is there any certain thing that it's like? Yeah, none of them nailed it. Nice. And all I remember when I went to the South Island was whitebait and nothing else. There's big like, yeah, there are quite a few whitebait around. Six Nations Trophy. We'll try that. Six Nations Trophy. Is that what they mean? You're absolutely right. You know your rugby trivia. There you go. Well done, Timothy. Oh, sorry, Timmy Smith. Go Damien McKenzie. Go Damien McKenzie. Get them goals. Second half, 14 points different. Called it a triple crown. Says Timmy. Tell you what, we'll go one more for before the start of the second half. Another one. What we got? What is the name of the rugby union team that won the first Rugby World Cup in 1987? Anyone got any ideas? My dad. What is the name of the rugby union team that won the first Rugby World Cup in 1987? Is the question it gave me. Yeah. Sports fish. Which fish would be good at non-water sport? A marlin at fencing, says Grant. Welcome in, Grant. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because like they're a big fish and they're a good fighting fish. Like they'll run around or swim around, I guess. Make your line go as it swims back out. ABs. All Blacks. There we go. Great job. You're on a roll. There we go. Halftime entertainment. Second half, though, just about to take place. What is the line out? What is the line out? Says Caleb. The line out or the line up for this match? I can tell you that Ngātahi Koe is continuing. The changes that they've had to make so far is I know that they've actually had Sean Withy. He's come on the field. Also, Bryn Gatland is on the field for the Chiefs. So Bryn Gatland going to kick us off underway. And Mao is baiting Samoan. Says Kennedy. And hi, lads. Are you doing all the URC quarterfinals? Not all of them, but 3 out of the 4 we will be doing. Who did Japan beat in the last Rugby World Cup, says Mr. Loom. Now we're rolling it back. Aaron Smith. The ball high. Waiting for this one to come down. It is swirling in the breeze. Big slamming land there for Shannon Frizzell. Now Damien McKenzie gets it off to Weber. Tries to snipe through Big shot put onto him by Aaron Smith. No love lost there between the two All Blacks halfbacks. Now Bryn Gatlin goes for the chip in behind. Sean Stevenson takes it beautifully. Drew and pass goes off to Jacobson, who just didn't quite have the toe that he would have liked to. Moni Narawa with the pick and go now. Chiefs round the side. There's going to be the advantage in their favour. Now Weber goes off to Bryn Gatlin, slings it in behind to Damian McKenzie, passes on the outside. And Daniel Rona does score the try there for the Chiefs. That'll be another one. 1 minute in. Brilliantly done. Are you doing the Stormers Bulls game for the URC? We certainly are. And we also will have a video coming out in about, I'd say, 12 hours' time of us playing that game on Rugby 22. Will be coming onto the channel. Also, in an hour's time, we have got that video going up of us doing Leinster versus the Sharks. Be sure to keep an eye out. That one, how many times did the All Blacks beat the Springboks at Newlands in Cape Town? And Eddie Rona, the concreter, says Marco Vanapola. Very well done, though, to stay just inside of the touchline there, Daniel Rona. He's just looked like a different beast. When there's a little mistake, they have been capitalising every single time. Now, Damian McKenzie taking a few deep breaths, ready to line up this kick for the Chiefs. Keep it up, Chiefs. There's no mum there as well. Now in a position of a bonus point. Now, you do need 3 or more tries than your opposition to receive said point. McKenzie sitting 4 from 4, which I believe means he's now on 998 points, if I'm not wrong. Oh, time's off. We're going to be chicken. They want to check potential play off the ball. That's a bit rough to go back for. And give it up, Chiefs. Says no mum, and Rona's a unit. Says big light. Potential obstruction off the ball. Here we go. They're going to be looking at it. What do we find out though? One offside over here. Okay, where's the obstruction? Is that it? Are they saying that Sam Cane? Okay, so they're saying Sam Cane held Freddie Burns. They're saying that put him off balance, but he's run the decoy line. Freddie Burns has had a little half knock on his arm, and they might say that that's no try. Here's a question. Can you tell us why McKenzie smiles before he kicks for the post? I actually don't know. I've never looked into it. I just know he always does it. I don't know his actual reasoning behind it. Right, they're going to stick with the try. No, last year, no DMAC due to Japan commitments. This year, DMAC owning it. There's Blues and 8. 20-plus points seems like a reasonable score. It's good for the nerves, the smile, says Crystal. Okay, so it tries to calm him down, I guess. Yeah, to be fair, if you had something like that you do beforehand, it would put your mind off the kick. So, like, if a player was to, like, slap his thigh or something before kicking, like a penguin, you know how penguins go like that? That kind of looks bad because you can't see my arms. But, yeah, the penguins slap their legs. Maybe you do that beforehand so that you don't get put off by your own kicking. The smile works, though. He's 5 from 5. He's got another one over DMAC. Chiefs need to score first in the second half to kill it off, says Daniel Cox, and that is exactly what they've been able to do. Yes, to me, because he knows that he'll get it over, says Roof. And that is harsh to call. It's Freddie Hollywooding. Big light. All right, Daniel Rona. Very happy about getting that try, but there's still plenty of points out there on the field for both of these teams. Just a matter of getting them now. Anton Leonard-Brown tries to go around. Now, nice short ball. Off to Aiden Ross. Weber fires it back into the 22. Looks like they're going to try and, nope, kick it downfield. Moni Narawa straight to Sam Gilbert. Charges back at the line now. Almost went through. Now Smith back across to the group. Sam Kane's looking a little lost at the moment. Doesn't seem like he quite knows who he's supposed to be tackling and when he's supposed to be tackling them. 3 players take down Sam Gilbert there. A little bit of a counteract from Simonson and Tokyo. I'll be honest, it's been very quiet throughout this matchup. Is the score correct? Not quite. Now it is. Not as bad as George playing with himself. You're safe, Hamish, says Mr. JJ, and all these Daniels are amazing, says Roof. Out to you now from the Chiefs 22. Ball to Ainsley. That's going to be an advantage. Luke Jacobson just couldn't quite go anywhere there, unfortunately for him. Now Burns out past to Whiffy. Now Smith again. Stagnant at the moment. I don't think Dixon was expecting that ball when he got it past him. Now Smith goes off to the left-hand side. Freddie Burns couldn't decide who to go to. Instead, he goes to Shannon Frizzell, who finds the offload over the top to Thomas Umaga Jensen. Now they move up to 22 out. That's a miss pass from Smith, and they will go back for the penalty. And as a kicker, sometimes I smiled, even missed. Still smiles, says Nate. And Alvin relax. That is why Damian McKenzie smiles, says Caleb there. The Highlanders, they cannot go for the 3 here, I think it's fair to say. I think they need to kick this one for the corner. Give themselves a real opportunity. Cutting off that bonus point. Good D, says Big Light. Yeah, the Chiefs have been phenomenal throughout this game. I believe it was 85 tackles made, 9 missed, which is very high in terms of those percentages. Sam Gilbert looking a bit tired. He's not smiling. That's his normal look, says Spider Meg. There we go. Tackles 88, 7 missed. Compared to the Highlanders, 55 tackles made, 24 tackles missed. So a 93% completion for the Chiefs. Andrew Makaleo throws it into Shannon Frizzell, 10 metres out. Billy Harmon now going off to Smith. That is for Tuli Pire. Now moving forward, Sam Cane, hands on the ground. Could have been a penalty against him. Now big run from Ethan de Groot, the first try scorer of the contest. Back to the left-hand side, Hugh Renton. Crashes at the line again. Now Smith. Oh, that's a big shot on Ngātaua Koi's jaw, but he's managed to take it extremely well. Still on his feet. Short ball from Burns. Goes to Thomas Umaga Jensen. 3 metres out from the line now. The Highlanders looking to strike back. It's going to be Sean Withy, the replacement. Dragged down. Chiefs need to roll out of that one. Now Smith sold the dummy. Thought about going himself, but instead goes off to the left-hand side. A lot of pressure there from the Chiefs, and the foot race is on. Daniel Rona's dropped the ball, though. They'll go back for the scrum. Huge difference. There's Mr. JJ. The Chiefs have the most yellow cards at the moment. There's Mr. Lube. Like they've said, if Daniel Rona was able to hang on to that ball, find the pass to Amoni Narawa, could have been another try. At the moment, the Hurricanes are leading in terms of tries in the competition with 45. That was going into this round. In terms of tackle percentage, Chiefs are actually at the top with an extra 3% over any other side. Yellow cards, though, they've had 9, Highlanders 8. So these are actually the 2 most yellow-carded sides going head-to-head. Next time, Hamish hears the English national anthem. Feeling he'll ask why has it changed. Says Stephen, no, I know that much. I just don't know anything else about the royal family and whatnot. Now, Aaron Smith feeds the ball in now. Going down on the front row, another advantage in their favour. For the Highlanders going blindside. Kicked him behind from Freddie Burns. Gregory waits for it. It's just going to be run into touch. And at least this game had good basics. No stupid mistakes and too many penalties. Says Reuben, click the like button, good people. Says Mark. So clean breaks goes to the Blues in terms of overall stats. Blues have had the most carries, most meters run. Actually, the Blues, they've almost run 9,000 meters with the ball in hand. Defenders beat them. Moana Pacifica, 271. That is actually quite a surprising stat, seeing as they are last in the standings and haven't won too many contests. They had the most defenders beat them, though. Lineouts won. Reds at the top of that bunch. In fact, 4 out of the 5. In fact, 5 out of the 6 top sides for lineouts is actually Australian sides. Hurricanes most offloads. Chiefs with the best scrum winning, and ruck winning is the Drua. There you go. There's some stats, but now the line out here for the Highlanders thrown in by Andrew Makaleo. Brazil takes it nicely. Now Sean Withy fires it back again to Andrew Makaleo. Been told to use it once. Now Aaron Smith goes off to the right-hand side. Now across again. Nice running from Scott Gregory. It would normally be on that right wing, but he did come a long way off that wing. I think they need to try and go back out to the right here, though. Aaron Smith, once they do get it set. Here comes Ainsley. Now's when you go right. Oh, With a little bit of a counter ruck from Simisoni Takiao. Finding the offload. Gilbert gets over. And it's another try for the Highlanders. They are still not completely out of this match yet. Chiefs can win just on tactics at the moment, says Mr. JJ. While taking the goal kicks, it was actually Krishnan Ainu. Hopefully I said that correctly. And Bowden Barrett still got it. D-Mac needs to be our 10. Mwanga going for sabbatical. And Bowden Barrett too old now. He is the future. And has the Super Rugby team won all their games in 1 year, not lost? As Crusaders lost 3 games to the same team in 1 year. I don't believe the Crusaders have lost 3 games against the same side. Not in a very long time anyway. Crusaders won all their games and won the final in 2002. And I actually know one of the Crusaders who was in that 2002 side. We've done a couple interviews with him in the past. We'll have to have a catch up with him soon. I actually messaged him the other day. We were having a bit of a chat about a video idea. Now 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes gone in this first stage of the second half. The Chiefs need to score first in the second half to kill it off, says Daniel Cox. Currently doing very nicely. Got themselves 5 tries. Although the Highlanders have cancelled out that bonus point, it's a long way to go for the Landers still, certainly. Long way for the Chiefs as well. They cannot afford to concede another try now, or else they might be in a little bit of trouble. And miss and then blame the ball for being deflated with a kicking tee. I wasn't that one you normally use, even though it is, says Marco Vunipola. I feel like I still want to upload those kicking videos I did through the Test Rugby. I might want to upload them at some stage. They were little extra ones where I was doing kicking at the park. It might go up on the channel one day. Hard jobs. Being a fullback, this news, out of breath. And the Chiefs will win. And Maxwell Normie, it is indeed Normie. Or Maxi. Was going high from Aaron Smith, 25 metres out from his line. Only getting at about 10 metres. And it's nicely taken by Muni Narawa. So once again, the Chiefs are going to have to counter-attack, although Ethan the group managing to get over the ball. They're looking for the clean turnover, and he has managed to do that. The ball will go the way of the Highlanders. In fact, it's a penalty, no complacency, says Mr. JJ. Damien McKenzie smile. Helps him relax, says Caleb in there as well. Narawa. Looking disappointed. Like I've said, Ethan the group actually having the most rucks hit throughout this match. Any player. A massive one. Islanders $12 underdogs. The kick has not found touch, so it gets them into a little bit more trouble. Now Weber going back to the right-hand side. Simisoni Takiao straightens with his run. Always dangerous when he gets going. A nice run from Luke Jacobson back up to his feet. 40 metres out. Weber goes short to Takiao. Only just had a run, but he's decided why not get 2 in a row here. Now Weber looking for the ball to become available. They have got the advantage for not rolling away. Who do you think will win the game? I think the Chiefs should be able to take it. They've also got the advantage here now. They will be able to kick for the corner and give themselves another real good crack. The Rhino goes off. Here's the big light. There you go. So Akula taking some deep breaths at the moment. Right. Oh. Damien McKenzie and the Chiefs take the 3. So they've decided that the corner would be a great option to score the try, but they're just a little bit worried that the Highlanders are starting to make that little bit of a comeback. So they want to be outside of that 2-try window. Then they've also got to remember that bonus point is available, and the Brumbies are still relatively close to them. Rings the cowbell, says Mr. JJ. Hi, Amish, says Amelia. Welcome in. Doing very well. Damien McKenzie. Lining up the 3 points now. This is one that you've got to get over when you've decided the 3 is the option rather than going for the try. Kenzie sitting on 996. So this will put him up to 999 points in Super Rugby. And Clever Chief says, Mr. Lerm. McKenzie taking some deep breaths. He has a bit of a grin at the post. He's got 20 seconds. I don't really know why Ben O'Keefe had to say that because there's still plenty of time left and it might have put McKenzie off, has it? No, it's gone over. 999 points now for Damien McKenzie. We have got tactics, says Mr. JJ. I wish I could say I was well. I just got the news that I got withdrawn from my TAF courses today, which sucks. That does suck, Amelia. So you got withdrawn. So did they? Is that on their end, I guess, rather than your end? What's up, Hamish? How's the brother? Says Junior Rider. And also we have got there. I shut your trap, Benny Boy. Okay, not happy. Natoa Koi going off the field now, and that will be for Josh Lord. Now makes his way out there. Oh, ball available for the Chiefs, and they have got the knock-on advantage. Oh, Ben O'Keefe, sorry, I got confused for a second, didn't I? And I was like, what is TIFF? Is that like trade school? A little bit. It's a bit similar, I believe. It's got to be Dan Carter, Hamish. There's Daniel there. I think, Daniel, you might be a little bit behind live, so you may see this in about maybe 15, 20 minutes. Hello, Daniel, from the future. Hamish and George do a blindfold place kicking video. I would be lying if I said that we haven't considered it. I see that George is back on Farming Simulator. I don't think he's going to the pub. And if he is, he ain't going for long. I want me to go F them up for you, Says Nate. Our scrum feed, I believe. I feel quite relaxed this game, long as the Chiefs keep scoring and Landers don't. And Landers putting up a fight. They're doing very well, the Highlanders. A lot of people thought that it was going to be pretty one-sided, but I'm glad that they are at least a little bit in this contest at the moment. Even though there's 17 points difference, which sounds like a lot, the way that this game's been back and forth, one mistake equals a try at the moment. Hello, what's up, bro? Says Cullen, welcome in. 40 metres out from their own line here. Bring Gatlin will put the boot high. Kenzie and Narawa chasing, but it's taken by Gilbert. Great under the high ball throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. And don't count the Highlanders out. Great idea, Grant. I'll watch it with a blindfold too. Says Stem. We have actually done something with a blindfold before in the past, me and George. That sounds dodgy, but it was a video of us playing. I was playing Rugby Challenge blindfolded. He could see, and it went a bit rough. Fair to say, a lot of censoring in that video. Don't count the Highlanders out. Armour, bro. Says Blues, Nate. A nice run down the wing from Fatuli Pire. Smith. Going back across to Ethan de Groot. I said Narawa might be injured. Chiefs will finish. Okay. Now Smith. On the kick high, almost partially charged down by Josh Lord. Oh, not quite able to take that one. Bring Gatlin. So Fatuli Pire takes it. Looks like his legs are about to give out on him. So Sean Stevenson takes it nicely inside of the 22, just deciding to jog it back. Now finds a pass on the outside to Amoni Nuttall. Well shut down by Aaron Smith, though, to not allow them to stick down the side. 2 males blindfold games, and it got a bit rough, says Nuzzy Williams. There's going to be 50 points for the Chiefs, says Big Light. How many games did the All Blacks win in 2013, and who won Super Rugby, says Mr. Lamb? No idea. I'd assume Crusaders and the All Blacks maybe like 8. How many games did they play? I go 8. That's just a random guess, though. 7 more points, please, says Mr. JJ. Right, Amoni Narawa looks like he should be able to continue. And score is 21-38. You're still at 21-35. It is. It's decided to go to sleep, hasn't it? There we go. Updated itself. I was supposed to go to this game with my dad. He said no because I had school. Says Troublesome. Oh, because you had school. Like Saturday school? Do you go to school tomorrow, Troublesome? Interesting. As known as a genius or a Guinness Six Nations Cup average. Yeah, Daniel's about 30 or 20 minutes behind at the moment on the live stream. You'll see Daniel popping in with our halftime banter because he'll say the All Blacks. Bet you the next message Daniel Cox puts is the All Blacks. If I am right, I win the internet. Deal? Is that the Guinness Six Nations Cup? Which I think we went Six Nations Trophy for, but next one that Daniel Cox puts in, bet you he says the All Blacks. I believe that was our last question. That's the final answer. And me, I mixed orange juice or orange mango and apple. That's very nice. One's Carlsberg Ice. Perfecto for a little relax. That actually sounds really nice. The snooze. I do love orange and mango. Chuck a bit of apple in there as well. Nothing go too badly. Getting driven backwards there for John Ryan. One of the newer names there for them. I go one step forward. I go one step backwards. Win in this world, and it sucks, says Amelia K. Although the fact that you keep on trying to go for 1 foot forward again says a lot. So don't get too disheartened. The fact that you're still trying things and there's still, Now, one of them will stick eventually. You'll get that second foot forward and you'll just keep on going. You don't get disheartened. Now, Billy Harmon, that ball available at the back. Aaron Smith goes back across Freddie Burns. Now Connor Garden Bishop goes to Sam Gilbert and got him. Or go get him, Chiefs. There's Ratia there. Smith goes to the right-hand side. Big shot coming in. At the moment, the physicality is up to about 11 out of 10 between these two sides. Ethan de Groot tackled on the halfway line. Or even Phantom of Virgin River can fix this. There's Amelia. That's serious because I know how much you do enjoy both of those. Now Smith goes back across to the left-hand side. Now short ball. Hugh Renton got the space but does get dragged down. 25 metres out the line. Smith tackled hard by Josh Lord. Right, they've said it's a knock-on. Is Kerry Juice really from Kerry, or is it manufactured in China? I think it's local. Billy Harmon, nice spin. John Ryan drags him down. Now Smith. One more try here for the Highlanders, and we're back in the money for this game being close for the final moments. Now another big run from the Highlanders. Smith back across to Shannon Frizzell. Thought about the offload tackle by Sam Kane. Tries to get back up to his feet. Doesn't quite join the ruck correctly. Good stepping from Freddie Burns. Shut down early with Sam Gilbert by Jacobson. This Renton looks pretty good, doesn't he? Yeah, he's a solid player, Hugh Renton. He actually has the opportunity or the option of playing lock as well, but it's going to be a turnover. Now Daniel Rona, all he has to do is run it to the try line, and it will be another try. And Landers keeping up for now, don't cry. We have so many ripe kiwi fruit going on the ground. Ask Mother Nature to stop raining, says Mr. JJ, but it is the second try for Daniel Rona. One moment, I mentioned it earlier on in this contest, one mistake equals a try for the opposition. That is his third try of the season, second of tonight for Daniel Rona. Making a big name for himself and all the way. And also, we have got that part of me wants to contact Josh, aka the Phantom, because when he helped me with the anxiety attack, I remember telling him about the course, but I don't want to be a burden to him, says Amelia K. Well, I guess it is up to you what you do in terms of whether have you talked to him since then, or is it only now would be the next time that you talk to him? A lot of Māori All Blacks on the field tonight. And this game says Mr. Lerman, counter-attack rugby at its best. Chiefs Mana, says F. Da Don. And can't wait to see Will Jordan back tomorrow, says Stephen Mark. So I hope he goes well. It's been a very long time in the anticipation. Like a lot of people are hoping he does well because a lot of people are relying on him to be in the All Blacks. So hopefully it goes all right. Up against the Western Force, though, not an easy side to score against sometimes. Now, McKenzie is sitting on 999. He's taken the kick. It's gone over him. That is 1,001 points now for Damian McKenzie. That is the all-time record for the Chiefs by over 100, overtaking Stephen Donald. We live, JJ. Any free kiwi fruit? Kiwi fruit? That stuff's costly these days. Do you remember when watermelon ended up going up in price to like $30 for a watermelon? Was that what was really expensive? Lettuce, I think, at a patch where it went high as well. Gonna be now kicked off. Beautifully taken by the Highlanders. Looking to counter here. Keeping the ball alive once again. Throwing it back to the Chiefs though. Amoni Narawa kicks it in behind. Tupavai is the man who picks it up inside ball to Narawa. Just couldn't find the offload though. So I believe it would have been Kalen Boshia. Now back across to the left-hand side. This counter-attack from the Chiefs is absolutely sensational. Now Josh Lord, big fin there on Connor Garden Bishop. Props D-Mac. Says big light. Now it's going to be ripped away. Knock-on advantage in favour of the Chiefs. In fact, it's a penalty advantage. They will now. Little push and shove from Alex Nankerville and Josh Dixon there. There's someone I trust. Feel like he is the last resort for me. Says Amelia. In there as well. Are you sure? Says Stone Cold. Sure about what, Stone Cold? Ironic that I said what in that scenario. I guess that's kind of your thing, isn't it? In the WWE. And text Dr. Phil, says Nuzzy Williams. I don't know if Dr. Phil has his number publicly available, unfortunately. I wish I could say that. It's been nothing but hell for me. I've only been thrown another curveball, says Amelia. Same with me, troublesome. I want to go, but my dad had work. DMAC 1000. I see. Now that makes sense now. DMAC 1000, yeah, he's on 1,001 points in total. Can I send Mangoes to New Zealand? I absolutely hope so. And if you can, I'll try and see if I can send Pies back. Be a weird trade, but be good on both sides, I'd say. Now it's available. Penalty advantage again in favour of the Chiefs, who are only 5 metres out from the line. They will be going back for it now. Putting the nail into coffin now. Line out penalty. Still another 17 minutes. The Chiefs could end up now. I would say the Chiefs could end up winning this game by 40 points, and that's not even an exaggeration. Do you play Farming Simulator? I do a little bit. Not as much as George, though. If I click on my Steam friends list, George is playing it at the moment. Told me he was going to the pub and then editing. Cheeky boy, that one. I never had a proper job, and even I know myself, I'm ready for one because of my anxiety, says Amelia. So it's one of those ones that, like Ruth said, I think she said 5 little steps. So it's one of those ones that if you can find a job that you can do from home or something along those lines, or something that you're not doing maybe with public for a start, just so that you can try and ease into it a little bit. Like for myself, 3 years ago, I hardly talked to anyone. Now I talk flat out. People will tell me to shush. But like, yeah, I've gone from not talking to people out and about to now like not stop talking. So it's one of those ones that as you get more and more used to it, it slowly becomes more natural. Mangoes taste like Satan's excrement. No, Grant, take it back. Mangoes are great. Well, it depends on where you're getting them from, Grant. Are you having Australian mangoes or Peruvian mangoes? Because the Peruvian ones are nowhere near as good. I can tell you that. And all we can do is get up, take one more step at a time. Kia kaha. Says Nazi Williams. I think it's called burnout. Happens to all top sportsmen. Shame. Says Roof and Weber are pretty much shut down Smith. And next month, June, Hamish flying home to New Zealand. Few trays of mangoes. Yeah, coming home to New Zealand, mate. We have to try and you are up in Auckland. When I go up and see Tony and Mark, maybe we can try and do something around that time, perhaps. Talking to Nato Akoi. Pretty happy with his performance. Waving to the camera. And also we have got there, and considering their lost all their games in 2020, just shows how far you can come back from, or you can come back from anything. Yeah, it's a massive improvement from the Chiefs compared to where they were near the start of Super Rugby Aotearoa, I believe it was, and that was kind of when they found their new lease on life, and since then they've just kept on growing. Could even talk to the Rebels players without stuttering or getting nervous. This always happens. Oh, I couldn't even talk to Rebels player without stuttering or getting nervous. This always happens when I meet new people, says Amelia. But that's a natural human reaction. Don't be worried about that. It's just like sometimes it takes a little bit longer to break your social walls down with people, if that makes sense. Like some people you'll find straight away, you're like, oh, I can talk to you, no worries. Whereas other people, you're like, this is awkward for the first like 3 or 4 times, and then it slowly becomes more natural. Here's a fun fact for you as well. George never used to come around by himself. It used to be us 4 lads at school, me, George, Daniel, and Isaac. Isaac used to come around by himself. But anytime, like George would never come around just with him. Unless Isaac was going to be there, or Daniel. Yeah, Daniel was the same. He didn't come around. But now George comes around, like he showed up today. We had a meeting about the channel. So it's one of those ones you slowly get used to people. It's just about getting in that uncomfortable zone for a little bit to then make it comfortable, if that makes sense. Nice spin from Connor Garden Bishop. Big shot low from, I believe, who's that lying under the breakdown? He's stuck anyway. Whoever it was. Now Mitch Hunt sells the dummy, kicks it in behind. Nice take from Damien McKenzie, flying home for the grand dance, 80th B-Day in June. There's Nate there. To see what we can do, I think. Now, D-Mac goes out wide. A little bit of a juggle there from Bradley Slater. Replacement number 16 just keeps it in the field of play. Are you covering the final round of the Gallagher Premiership? I don't. Oh, that's a nice run from Kalen Boshier. We'll come back to that in a short moment. Finds the pass over the top. Now Brad Weber with a big fend on Falau Fakatava. Weber scores, and the Chiefs bring up 50. Okay, They're happy live. They might go upstairs for this one, but we won't be doing the final round of the Gallagher Premiership, mainly because it does overlap with the URC semi-finals. But I'm hoping to do maybe the semi-finals and the final of the Gallagher Premiership. I wouldn't want George around me by himself. He'll ravage my young hot body, says Marco. There is the 50. Says no, mum. Yeah, brilliant performance so far from the Chiefs. It's that counter attack. I have to say, strongest in the competition by far when it comes to counter attack and opportunities. The Chiefs have just been able to go every time the Highlanders make the mistake. The Chiefs go, okay, we'll run and we'll score. Easy peasy. Puts up the fin as well for the Tasman Marcos. Of course, the Bunnings NPC not actually too far away from getting underway. Are you not entertained? Says Big Light. I mean, 71 points. Feel like a lot of people are definitely enjoying this contest. I get like that with my family members. They're strange to me as well. It's normal, says Roof. And also, Marco, get back to training for the Bath game tomorrow. Saracens are all right, aren't they? Sitting top of the bunch. This Smith is not the greatest. Cry May Bay. Is Mr. Data, to be blunt, the Landers team are ridiculous. We'll say bad rather than that. Like, they started well. They had a chance, but then just didn't really happen. Kikaha says Rati, and yeah, Hamish, hopefully catch up with you lads in Auck City. So yeah, you'll have to get me some dates. Not like female dates, as in like dates that you're going to be in Auckland. And we'll see if we can try and synchronize something, perhaps. Be quite cool. One try for Brad Weber tonight. And George ravishing your young hot body. Are you hallucinating this, says Roof? Nicely taken by Tupavai. Still 12 minutes remaining in this matchup. So plenty of time for the Chiefs to bring up that 60. Although the Highlanders, they do receive the scrum feed now for the knock-on. Jonah Nariki out on the field replacing Scott Gregory. They say, although Scott Gregory is still on the field. D-Mac lining pick up, says Stone Cold. He took it pretty quickly, to be honest, but he got it over. So it is now 52 points to 21. He's on fire at the moment, old D-Mac. 301 for the Highlanders to win. If you remember that I'm calling you after the stream, says Daniel Cox. I have indeed. But the question is, are you now live with us here, or are you still 20 minutes ago, Daniel? Because I know you were a little bit behind before. Is the King's coronation tomorrow morning in England? Well, it is. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's actually at the same time as a Super Rugby game. I'd say come fishing in the sunny Bay of Plenty, says Mr. JJ. I feel like I'm just going to have to take like 2 weeks where I just go touring in the North Island. That would actually be bloody incredible, I think. It's just working out when I can do it that streaming doesn't impact it. Unless I take the laptop, take the gear, and do the streaming from the hotel room. Fakatava should go back to last year's hairstyle. He played better, says Nazi Williams. If Chiefs reach 60, I'm shocked. And it's blowing gales every day with huge swells, says Mr. JJ. TAB tomorrow for $400 for the Blues to win. At the moment, the Highlanders to win this game are paying $301. In fact, King Charlie and his missus' big day out. Says Roof. Scrum fever for the Highlanders. Love Fakatava. Got to feed this ball in. There's a Ratama also on the field now. Hear the crowd singing along to Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. Here we go. Hugh Renton off the back. Fakatava sells the dummy. Goes through Fakatava. Now only 5 meters out from the line. Big clean out on Alex Nankerville. Thomas Umaga Jensen puts in the big fin. Dragged down by Amoni Narawa. Believe he's lost a boot and it's a drop ball. Miscommunication there from the Highlanders. 2 men running onto it and neither of them were able to take it. Who did Nankerville replace? I believe Nankerville came on the field for Amoni Narawa. But I believe I saw Narawa before. They've actually got the scoreboards really messed up. It might actually be for Anton Leonard Brown. Maybe, actually. Hey, Chiefs are putting on a real clinic. So far, the Landers conceded over 160 points against the Crusaders. Lose and Chiefs. Shocking. The Crusaders and Richie tomorrow tops your beauty. Yeah, we will be covering those games tomorrow. Super Rugby starting at 2:05. A little bit earlier, but it is a game between the Fiji and Drua and the Hurricanes will be taking place. After the coronation, I'm going to Bristol Bears versus Gloucester Rugby. Hopefully it's a good game. Random bleeding nose. He's put in a big shift for the Highlanders today. Now shaking out the arms here. Bradley Slater for the line out throw goes into the middle. Josh Lord taking it beautifully. Cortez Aratama now goes back to Gatland. They will kick it downfield, playing a little bit more of the territory game now, the Chiefs. They know that they've got this game won. They know that they've got the bonus point currently in place. So another try here would be absolutely brilliant for them. Now, Damian McKenzie does the chip and chase. Doesn't quite get the... Oh, he does get the bounce of the ball. That was poor from the Highlanders. Just sitting there waiting. It's going to be a knock-on against the Landers. Double knock-on. Scrum fee for the Chiefs. A little bit of... I mean, they say Moonga magic. There's a little bit of McKenzie magic taking place throughout these contests. And Blues got 40 on the Landers. Chiefs 40 plus at the moment. And Randy Andy will have to behave. This due tomorrow. And Nankivell is good cover, which is a nice bonus. Says Big Light. It looks like they're making another sub. Maybe. And I was finally home and actually slept 2 hours and off to the airport again. No, jeez. A day off in 5 months is not enough. It doesn't sound it, but hopefully you are feeling all right, Kurt. 2 hours sleep. I know that feeling all too well. Oh, no, sorry. You've got 2 hours, then you're off to the airport. But yeah, hopefully you get that nice little tiny rest. Where are you off to next? I know that you've done Ireland, you've done France. Or have you not done France yet? Are you going to France next? You let me know, Kerr. Most likely Roof and also Hamish. How do I become a mod? Says Harry and Luck. It's pretty much just being here consistently. And then when we do need more people for moderating wise, we do end up looking through at the people who have been here the most. Morning, mate. Says Kwasi. Welcome in, mate. You are doing well. Now nicely run forward by Ollie Slater. Sorry, Ollie Norris, I should say. Alex Nankivell dragged down. Sean Stevenson do that. Sean Stevenson 2023 versus Will John 2020 at the Mo. What do you reckon? I mean, Stevenson's in some absolutely brilliant form. Going Narawa and Stevenson. Will you cover IPL knockouts? Such a final would be nice. It would be if it doesn't overlap coding, is the only thing that we've got. Which at this stage, I believe some of them do overlap, sadly. Romania today, Bucharest specifically. Yeah, so you're ticking them all off. You might be able to visit Sebastian. He's in Romania. Although by the sounds of it, you're only there for half a second and then you're off on another big cruise. So where are the next 5 countries that you've got, Kerr, that you are heading to? Got Romania currently. You've done the Europe side of things around that kind of France, Ireland. Where is your next big one? And then the Hurricanes, Brumbies, and the Force. Not mum. Now, it's going to be a line-out throw here again. I don't know. Part of me is telling me I should. There's also obviously the idea of me working at the Arts Centre. It isn't. Won't be the same because Phantom isn't there anymore, says Amelia. Although, I guess you've always got the chance of it returning eventually. So, it will get you, I guess, a little bit of a step in the door in some regards of maybe getting to do one of those shows in the future. Now, Whakatava, Makeli 2 with the ball. Ireland is just working as hard as they can, but the Chiefs are not making it easy. Bonus point currently still in favour of the Chiefs. So the Chiefs playing next game for the Chiefs. They are going to be going head-to-head. I'm having to scroll a long way up. It'll be here somewhere. Fixtures. Next week's fixtures. They have got their game up against the Reds. That will be 7:05 on Friday night. Now Shannon Frizzell, 5 metres out from the line. The Highlanders looking to get one last ditch effort in. Whakatava, tackled out by his opposite number, Cortez Aratama. Now, Frizzell, they've given away the advantage again. Frizzell looks for the offload, giving it away. It's happening a lot. After Romania is Amsterdam, then headed on to Norway, Iceland, New York, Eastern Canada. Wow. That's quite cool. I feel like you get to see so much. Like, surely you've got a phone or a camera with a lot of storage for you to take a whole heap of pictures. Or else you're just like, you're seeing so much. Like, you go to Norway, it might be cold. Iceland should be cold if it's anything like the name. And then you end up going somewhere else where it's probably going to be summer or something like that. So you kind of got so much that you can see and do, I assume, in the short amount of time. After the stream, says Daniel, I went to the pub yesterday for the first time in ages. I downed 4 $20 jugs, drove home like a naughty boy. I wouldn't admit that, Marco. That's going to be the try for Shannon Frizzell going to the short side. But, of course, that is not Marco Vunipola, the real rugby player we should mention. I don't want to get him in trouble. A part of me wants to see what he says. Maybe if he can help in whatever way he can, despite being a million miles away. Says Amelia, you lost the bet, says Big Light. Yeah. Although I did say at the start, you'll see, I said when the Chiefs win by 30, you'll be able to give me a hard time. And they're currently winning by about 30 stage. It is a good try for the Highlanders. We're getting a huge amount. Should offer you a trip, says Mr. JJ. I mean, maybe one day if he's in the New Zealand Australia region, I might jump on a cruise ship. I feel like I'd love to be able to buy a ticket and just take a cruise somewhere. And very naughty, Mr. Marco. Glad you made it home safe and everyone's safe. Like no more police 7, eh? I mean, I could try studying performing arts, says Amelia. Yeah, that's the thing. You've got plenty of options. Even though it seems rough at the moment in terms of what you want to do, you've still got plenty of ways that you can branch out into different sections type thing. Right. Chiefs 52, Highlanders 28. Do we lose the bonus point? At the moment, the bonus point is still intact. If the Highlanders score once more, the bonus point will be gone. So that's something that they might know about here, the Highlanders. What countries have you traveled to? For myself, I know that the list will be nowhere near as impressive as Kerr, but I've traveled to Australia and I've traveled to Indonesia. Those are the two places I've been. I've missed at least one trip to Fiji. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to go last time due to being busy. And then this time, my parents are actually going to Fiji in 15 days, but I will still be here doing the streams and working. That's going to be a nice take from Scott Gregory. Now Sam Gilbert, ball on the inside, going off to Thomas Umaga Jensen. Nice run from Harmon. I feel like my voice is disappearing. All Blacks, says Daniel. I said that he would put All Blacks at some stage. And also, hi, Amish, says John. I've offered free stay in a Tauranga backpack, 900% on the weather for fishing. Says Mr. JJ, man of the match. Man of the match has got to be either Stevenson. Narawa's had a good game. Mackenzie's had a fantastic game. Ngātahi Akoi actually played pretty well as well. So it's going to be tough for them to pick a man of the match. One word to describe this game, eventful. A lot of tries being scored, but nothing really in terms of the yellow cards and whatnot, which is quite good. Now, once again, Chiefs with this ball, 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Next minute have faded away. Here's Big Light. Daniel Leonard Brown trying to get into the breakdown. My voice is going. At the moment, not good. No bueno. How was Indonesia population-wise? They are so much. Yeah, it was relatively busy while we were over there. We were in Bali. This was when I was about 13. If you saw a picture of me, you'd laugh. I was just a little ball of chub I was. Quite round in the face. I don't know what's happened now. I've actually got a jaw that's developed a little bit now. Damien McKenzie kicking it down the field again. Nicely taken by Sam Gilbert. Looking to the right. Here comes Mitchan. Not long now, says Ratia. Whatever happens from here, the Chiefs will win. Says no mum. All kick downfield from Ryan. Who wants it? Looks like Fatuli Pai is going to pick it up, flings it through his legs. Jonah Nariki now with the chip and chase. That man spent a lot of this year injured. Has made the low tackle there on Sean Stevenson. Dyer's had a blinder. He's had a good game too, George. Dyer goes into touch. Sean Whiffy didn't want to play at it. Now going to be a Highlanders line out throw. Good kick, says Big Light. Oh, I should mention Kerr. If you are still here, I played Rugby 22. We've got 3 videos coming out for the URC quarterfinals, including Glasgow versus Munster. That will be coming out tomorrow morning at about 9 a.m. New Zealand time. When I just mentioned about no yellow cards, yellow card in the final minute, deliberate from Ollie Norris. He'll be off the field now. He is extending the amount of yellow cards that the Chiefs have had. They've had the most out of any team in the competition, sitting on 10. Chiefs might be the real deal. Hey, they're playing extremely well. Best try of the game. I would say it was probably the counter-attack from Thomas Umaga Jensen's mistake. And they did have quite a few passes in a row and then some great offloading involved throughout it. It's gone long, but they do have to take it again. Line out reset. If Glasgow didn't win, don't post it. Well, I have some information. All I can say is I am sorry, Kerr. I'm sorry that I absolutely dominated Munster. No, don't know. Wait and see. All I'll say is it's the closest game that I've got of the weekend that we are posting. Turnover is good. The Chiefs get themselves another penalty. It's okay to exchange wins or exchange wings to be naughty church on Sunday. Everyone footy. Unfortunate. We almost had a cardless game. Dang it, says Big Light. That will be tapped and kicked into touch. The end of the contest, and the Chiefs are victorious in this matchup. 52 points to 28. 10 games in a row for the Chiefs. They are on fire. Next game up against the Reds. Game after that, we'll just quickly find out who they have got after. They've got the Reds, then they've got the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes is their last, I would say, big game that they have got. Then from there, they've got the Brumbies the next week. I take that back. That game's also quite a big one. And then the Force versus the Chiefs in the final one. And also, we've got the Chiefs are ravishing Landers. And hey, Hamish says, Jeffrey, welcome in, mate. And a ship should come to Tauranga, says Mr. JJ. And oh, yeah, those demons come streaming out after being off the piss for a while. And time for a Kit Kat. Ka kite, everyone. And what's your dream country to visit or dream countries? I'd love to go to one of the islands, whether or not that is Fiji, whether that's Samoa, somewhere around there. I feel like eventually I want to go to South Africa, mainly because, like, I've had a lot of South African viewers offer me prize, and I feel like I've got to take a few up on the offer. And we were owning it, says Blues Nate. And right, I need to run and sort out the luggage. Just wanted to stop and quickly say hello. Hopefully be on for the games tomorrow, says Kerr. And I've been to Tauranga before, loved it, says Kerr. So yeah, hopefully we do see you tomorrow at some stage, Kerr. I believe we've got 6 or 7 games back to back to back that are going to be taking place, including Glasgow versus Munster. That is going to be the last game that we cover. By then, my voice might be completely gone, but we'll do the sign language throughout that live stream so that you know exactly what is happening. As Damian McKenzie scored a try, I don't think McKenzie got himself a try in this game, did he? No, he didn't. Missed out in the end. We out here, G says Big Light. And also, how come I sat there the last 8 minutes trying to work the sky? And now it's working, says the snooze. And also, 50, lovely round figure, says Roof. And there as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we've got a couple Rugby 22 videos coming out in the near future. That is actually going to be out on the channel at 9 p.m. And it is a game that we did play between Leinster and the Sharks. Didn't quite go as I planned. Be sure to give that a look in 8 minutes' time. We've also got 2 more going up tomorrow morning, one at 7:30 and one at 9 a.m. Have a look at. If you guys are keen on a bit of rugby gaming, but we have also got those live streams all throughout tomorrow for Super Rugby, for the URC quarterfinals throughout the evening. I do thank you all very much for being here. Hope you enjoyed. You have a good rest of your night or rest of your day, depending on where you are in the world. And we will see you all for the next one.